So none of us can predict the financial future. I wish we could, but we can't. But as someone who has worked in this world, I do have some thoughts about some of the top money predictions that are coming out for 2026. All right, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. So again, there's a lot of buzz usually when it comes to the new year, whether it's on social media or articles where people are like, oh my gosh, I think this is going to happen and that's going to happen. So I've been compiling a couple of that I've heard, and I'm going to give you, my thoughts around them. So prediction number 1 is that interest rates will stay elevated, but will slowly go down throughout the year and eventually settle. I agree with that. I think that's the trend we are seeing last year, and more, I think we are seeing that. I think it's going to be slow. I don't think the Fed's going to do anything crazy, but I think we will start to see it, and then I think it will eventually level out. I really, for like mortgage rates and stuff, I sadly do not think we'll ever get back to like that 2 to 3%, but I think we will get, kind of where we are, maybe a little bit lower, but I think eventually it will settle. So I agree with that prediction. Number 2, global economic growth will be weak. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you guys, the past couple of years, it's been pretty crazy. I think even the market, especially within the U.S., the rates have been great in the market for earning interest if you have invested some money. So I don't see anything big changing from that. Maybe we're kind of a little bit, on an upward, and so naturally you're going to go back down, but I don't think it's going to be weak. I really don't. I think people are moving and they're traveling. They're continuing their lives. Some may spend less money, or operate a little bit more cautiously if they are stretched thin. But I don't know. I see it being relatively stable and kind of consistent. But I could be wrong, but I don't know. That would be my prediction. Number 3, housing will continue to be a buyer's market. Yes, I do agree with this. House listings have gone down in price, again, because of the high mortgage rates. And so people that are trying to sell their houses are like, okay, I will kind of even lower price or start to negotiate. Because if we can all remember, a few years ago, you would put your house on the market and then you get like 45 offers. Like, it was just crazy. And then people started upping the prices so much. And now the prices are still high. I don't think they're going to go back down to what they were, but I do think you are in a place where you're going to be able to negotiate, and there's just more houses on the market. And so if rates do drop, then you are going to see people rushing back in, which is great. And then I do think people that are holding on to their homes, because they do have that 2% rate locked in, that they're like, okay, I don't want to go buy something and go up to a 6%, so I want to just wait. And if rates go down, they may be more likely to say, okay, I'm going to sell my house now. So we will see. We will see what happens. But I do think as a buyer, you are at the advantage, which is great. All right, number 4, salary growth will be modest. So a pay scale survey says that U.S. employers are preparing for a salary increase of around 3.5% for employers then to pay. So I think so. I think the job market has gotten really, really competitive. I think we've seen, less jobs on the market than what were. And I again, people have their opinions on why that is, whether it's AI or market shifting. But I do think it is harder to get into the job market in general. And then on top of that, I do think people's skills are rising. And so employers are going to have to match that when it comes to what they pay them. Now, one thing I am positive of that will be part of my family in 2026 is Minnow. So you guys, I am a 90s kid, and I did grow up with shows like McGee and Me and VeggieTales, if you remember those. And Minnow lets me watch these classics now with my kids, plus some new favorites that teach them about faith. Minnow has Christian kids shows that your family will love, including hits like The Chosen Adventures and The Dead Sea Squirrels. And Minnow is safe, ad-free, and full of biblical truth. So you can try it with a 7-day free trial. Go to gominnow.com and use promo code Rachel to get an additional $10 off. That's gominnow.com, code Rachel. And if you need a simple, affordable way to protect your online privacy, check out Delete Me. One thing most people forget to clean up in the new year is their digital life. And with every coupon, newsletter, or giveaway sign up that you are looking at and doing, your personal info then is spread out to shady data broker websites that you have never even heard of. And that is why Delete Me's team of privacy experts finds your info on those sites, gets them removed, and keeps it off. It's like a digital cleaning crew protecting your name, address, and even personal information about your kids. So start your year off right with Delete Me. Go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel and use code Rachel to get 20% off. All right, number 5, consumer spending will slow. So during slower economic times, again, consumers usually tend to pull back and kind of tighten the reins. And so if that starts to happen and we see it, then yeah, I think people will. And people were freaked out with the high inflation and the tariffs and all of it. But also we're seeing certain markets are going up and people are spending more in certain things. So what that's going to look like overall, I don't know if it'll tighten. I'm not sure. Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, everyone, has these really tight budgets. And then you go to the airport or out at a restaurant and you can't freaking even move because there's so many people. And you're like, oh my gosh, people, whether it's traveling or going out to eat, people are still spending. And so depending upon what they feel with their own job security and all of that, I guess will determine what they feel like they can spend. But I think Americans love to spend money, y'all. I really do. So I think we're seeing more and more people just saying, yeah, we are going to spend. So I don't see it slowing personally, but I could be totally wrong. Now, if you do want to take control of your spending and actually say, hey, I need to have a plan around this, which you should, my favorite budgeting app is Every Dollar. It helps you get control of your money and not just your budget, but your overall financial plan. So make sure to check it out. I'll put a link down below. All right, number 6, AI will continue to take over the tech industry. Yes, I think we are seeing this more and more, y'all. And it's happening faster and way more advanced than I can even keep up with. Honestly, I don't even understand half the stuff I read about it. I'm like, what is going on? But I do hope that people miss people. There's something about productivity that I think is great, but also having a machine be someone's brain and all of it, I think you miss the actual person and what we think. And so there's something about that I still value so much. And I'm praying companies still value that because I think it really is important. All right, number 7, wellness will continue to trend. So people will still spend money more on wellness activities like expensive food, pricey workout classes, nice gear for all their activities and hobbies. And yes, I would agree. I think that trend is still continuing on and people are getting more information. I really do think about whether it's health or diet. All of it. The world that we live in, there's more and more research coming out and more platforms at which people can vocalize their opinions and you can learn more about all of that. So I do see people continuing on that track too. So I do agree with that. Now, regardless of what's going to happen in the next year, here's what I want you to continue to focus on that really, really matters. That is getting yourself in a place where you have control of your money, meaning you have savings. So $1,000 starting off, and then once you're out of debt, a fully funded emergency fund to have some money saved. 40% of Americans cannot cover a $400 emergency in cash. Okay, so we need some savings. And then also getting out of debt. I think this could be something that's part of your financial plan this year that's really important. There's something about being debt-free where you're not living with credit card payments and car payments and student loans and personal loans. And it's just that is your cycle of life and money because it is so much harder to build wealth that way. So some quick things to think about. That's my prediction for you is that you're going to get control of your money. And if you want to hear about a few money tips that I used to be skeptical of, but now I'm a fan of, check out this episode, Questionable Money Hacks I Now Swear By. You can click right here, or if you're listening on podcast, click the link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.